Everybody, thank you so much for joining me here today at Re-Written Vintage Homestead. It's a cold one. It's about 17 degrees with a wind chill below zero. So this is the perfect week to start my kickoff for the Three Rivers Homestead Pantry Challenge. And I am so glad that I waited a week. I had a 4 to 5 day chemo headache that never got any better. And I became dehydrated and I started vomiting. I ended up in the emergency room. Had to get several bags of fluids and nausea medicine and see my doctor on Monday. So it gave me, as it turned out, it gave me some time to do some catch up. So I'm so glad to be feeling better today and sharing with you the recipes that I'm going to be making this week. One thing I planned was if I can make a breakfast casserole from my pantry items, that's something we can eat for breakfast throughout the week or for a snack or at lunch. So keep that in mind too. When you make those casseroles, it may seem like a lot of work at once, but you can split it out over the week. The only thing I had to buy for this week's recipes was barley. I did not have barley. So I bought that, and I found that with the rice at the grocery store and the beans. Odd place. I was looking for it over by the flour and the cornmeal. So everything else I already had here. My freezers were stacked. My pantry was stacked and my refrigerator. So as I buy things, I'll show you guys what I did get. So thanks for joining me, and let's hop right into some of the recipes. First, I decided to go ahead and make a roast and use that roast for several meals this week. So I chopped up some sweet potatoes that I had grown over the summer. And I also chopped up some other vegetables that I had on hand in my pantry. I diced up the potatoes that I grew this year. I had a little bit of celery left in the refrigerator, so I diced up a stalk of celery. And I diced up an onion. And the good thing about making a big chunk of meat like a roast is that you can make 2 or 3 meals out of it through the week. And then I took about 3 carrots and I diced those up as well. In my big roasting pan, I added some water and my roast. And it looks like my roast was about $16. So if I could get 3 meals out of that, that would be just a little over $4 a meal, which is good compared to how much you pay to eat out. So I just put my roast in my roasting pan, and I add some salt and pepper to taste. I preheated my oven to 350. I also like to add some onion, salt, and garlic powder. And I put a little garlic on top. And then I put that in the oven for about 3 hours until it got nice and golden brown. I added my vegetables. And you can use those vegetables for soups or for stews. That's why it's nice to just take a day and make those and use them through the week. Added a little more seasoning there. And there's the roast. It's nice and brown. There are my vegetables. So I was going to use that for lunches, slice it up for sandwiches. I made a soup out of it, and I will make sure to add that link somewhere in the video here. And who does not have Jell-O in their pantry? So for dessert, I decided to use up the box of Jell-O that I had in the pantry. And I just followed the directions on the box. 1 cup of hot boiling water and 1 cup of cold water. I had a jar of mandarin oranges in my refrigerator. So that's the fruit I decided to add. And some mini marshmallows went on top. Quick, easy, inexpensive, already had it in my cupboard, and that was going to be dessert for the night. So while my roast had been cooking, I decided to go ahead and make a breakfast casserole for the next day for breakfast. And we could also eat that during lunch through the week. Actually, it lasted us several breakfasts. But you're going to take an 8-count package of any kind of biscuit dough, or you can make your own biscuits, whatever is easier for you. And you're going to grease a 9 by 13 inch pan, and you're just going to cut up your dough into small pieces like you see me doing here. Then you're going to lay those evenly in the bottom of your pan. I had some breakfast sausage that I had fried up for breakfast the day before. So I'm going to use the rest of that. And that just goes right on top of the biscuit dough. I usually get a plate with a paper towel on it to get rid of the grease. To that, you're just going to add any type of cheese that you have. I had a little bit of cheddar left. I think I had like a half a bag left. So I'm putting the cheddar cheese on top here. Next, you're going to take 6 eggs and break those open and whisk those together. Don't forget to save your eggshells for your compost. And then I'm going to add some milk. I think that was a cup of milk, 1 cup of milk. Salt and pepper to taste as always, and then just whisk that up. You then take your eggs and your milk and your salt and pepper and you pour it all over your casserole. And I found that in my drawer I had a package of home-style gravy mix. Now you can also make your gravy from scratch from your pan. After you have fried up your sausage, you can just use the pan that you fried that up in and make your own gravy, but I wanted to use this mix and get it out of the cupboard. And so I just followed the directions that were on the package, and I added milk and I whisked it up until it got nice and thick. I found all kinds of little packages of mixes in my cupboard, and I was so excited because who knows how long they've been in there and I haven't used them. So this pantry challenge has been great for getting those things out of my cupboard. And I have my oven preheating to 350. After you get your gravy to the consistency that you like, you're just going to dollop that on top of your casserole, all over your casserole. This casserole has quite a few layers, and boy does it come together just deliciously. Like I said, we ate off of this for 2 or 3 days, breakfast and lunches. The roast we sliced up thinly and had sandwiches. I made a soup, and it was eaten rather quickly, actually. And just spread that out as evenly as you can all over your casserole. And then you're going to bake that for 35 to 40 minutes. And look at that. Look how thick it is. It's just delicious. And it all comes together really nicely. And so for dinner that night, we had Jell-O, vegetables, and casserole.